Yeah, g'day guys, welcome to episode 13 of Miami Masterclass. My name is Ian. We are about to run into the month of June, and hopefully this can be slightly better. I know I say hopefully a lot, that's got to be my catchphrase, because we're sitting 19-28, we're 10 games out from the Mets. We were tipped to go 90 wins this year, that's not going to happen. We're going to be fortunate if we go 500 more. Our pitching staff is just awful. We're not doing anything of note. Tanner Sheppers is our lone sort of star. Dale Taylor's also doing quite well. Otherwise, everyone's just been being blown out of games. Jose Fernandez got 5.36 ERA, and he's a great player. So I'm at a loss as to what to do. We could be blaming this guy. We could blame Gary Jones, because he's quite strict when it comes to his pitching strategy. But I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, you could say it's his aggressive base running, but again, that shouldn't affect our pitchers. So we're going to get straight into it, and we're playing Philadelphia. We've got a couple of games against one more game against Atlanta, and then we're playing Philadelphia. We got swept by Phillies, who were tipped to go 54 wins, and they're halfway there almost. So, I mean, if we lose to them, I might as well just quit. And then, of course, we've got the first year player draft coming up, which is the big one today, which means that this episode will probably push right up 30 minutes. The one good thing about Christian Yelich being injured is he maintains his batting average, so he's leading the batting average at the moment, and his ops is very good too, although Polanco is actually right up there. Henderson Alvarez had a five hit shutout. We got something interesting to talk about. And did we pull back a couple of games there? I think we did, didn't we? We pulled back a couple of games before we go through them. So we won 7-0 against Atlanta, then got absolutely thumped by the Phillies. Dietrich is doing very well. Thankfully, Morse isn't on the team. I'll be annoyed if Mike Morse came out and belted a grand slam. And then we won the next two. So we have closed down the gap ever so slightly, but we're still 9.5 games back from the Mets. If there's one thing I want to do, it's beat the Phillies. I mean, we've been using them as our dumping ground, and they're all over us. Yeah, there you go. So Cole Hamels pitched a gem against us. In terms of the All-Star voting, it's only just come into it. I don't think we've got anyone probably besides Stanton, because we certainly don't have any pitchers coming in. Giancarlo Stanton's second now behind Bryce Harper, so he's our only possible All-Star. Ramos is injured for 4 weeks. Surprise, surprise. I mean, we're just getting absolutely hammered with injuries here. We've literally got no idea. If we can go, before we talk about the draft, let's see if we can bring in a reliever who's worthy of coming up. Ross Detweiler, how's he doing since he's come up to AAA? He's batting .395. Is he worth a punt? I think he is, you know. Let's put Detweiler up. We can't do any worse. And we've got that means we've got another lefty. So now we've got Brad Hand, of course we've got Ross Detweiler, and we've got Joe Ortiz, and Joe Ortiz has struggled somewhat. But the fact that previous screen there pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? If we don't want to see pitchers, do we? Let's go back to all batters. We've got 3 guys there on cold streaks. Danny Santana, he's out day to day. And Stanton is the lone standout. Oh, this is depressing. This is really, really depressing. But, of course, the big one right now is the first-year player draft. I haven't actually looked at this, so I'm probably going to be chopping and changing and doing a lot of editing. But we are 8th overall in the first round. So, one of our biggest weaknesses is the infield. So, it's something that I really want to look at. But what I will do, first of all, before I go anywhere, is look at pitcher's control potential. Oops, if we go right up to the top, doesn't it? Pitcher's control. See if there's anyone worthy taking. And you know what? There's not, is there? This is a really disappointing draft by the looks of it for pitchers. So if we go contact Seth Beer. Now he was, if you remember in the previous episode, Seth Beer was one of the highlights. He was expected to go first, and he's still here on the board. He's great across the ball. He strikes out, strike out a little bit, But he's got high work ethic, which if you watched the draft last year, it's something that I really look at. And in high school, look at that, he went to 5.36. He's got great potential. Now, head scout seems to think his discipline's better than the OSA ratings. But look, even if only 2 of those 3 come good, he's going to be quite decent. He's a right fielder. So let's see. I'm sure the scouting director is going to recommend him. No, he recommends Herbert Iser, a catcher. We don't really need a catcher at the moment, do we? You know what? I'm not that keen on him. He's nothing special, is he? And his signability's hard. Now, that's one thing I didn't look at with Seth Beer. Is he hard? Yeah, he's hard to sign. But I will... He only wants the slot, so that's why he's a good gamble. So let's go Seth Beer. Let's draft an offer the slot to Seth Beer. He's going to be our first signing. So again, like last year, I'm only going to do the first 10 rounds, and then we're going to try and zoom through them a bit more. Let's go eye potential this time, see if there's anyone really stands out. Not really, is there? There's few players. This guy got great power, great eye. Catcher, Mark Coffers. Yeah. I mean, you really want contact hitters, don't you? Guys that you know that can hit. Now, Griffin Keller, first baseman. Now, we don't have a lot of first basemen, and he's got a high work ethic too. But his eye is right down, and that's a bit of a worry. But again, the OSA ratings have him roughly in the greens. A head scout seems to think his discipline's a bit weak there. Is he worth a gamble? I'm not sure. Not at this stage. I think there's got to be better out there. Because there's not actually many great players, is there, in this draft? It's been a little bit disappointing. Michael Ruffolo there. 15 potential, 15 eye. Contact's right down. Not too keen on that one. Dominic Fletcher. There's not many. What about... didn't mean to click that one. What about power? Let's see if there's anyone there. Gap, power, potential, eye potential. Now, Grant Gilmore, he looks quite good, doesn't he? But he's going to be extremely difficult to sign for us. Yeah, I'm not... Again, his contact. I don't like the fact that his contact's so low. So what does my scout recommend? Aaron Pilkington. Now, where is he? He's a catcher. Was this the guy... OSA ratings are right down, but our head scout seems to think he's a lot better than he actually is. I don't know. This is really tricky, isn't it? Who do we sign? Anyone with good eye, very high work ethic. Ryan Lekic, 17. He wants 2.8 million though. I'm certainly not going to be offering that, but he's got decent base running ability there. And he's actually an ex-pitcher by the looks of it. He's got a bit of stamina. Got good eye, but everything else is a bit meh, isn't it? What about OSA ratings? Yeah, I'm not sold on him either. This is really tricky. There is no one, absolutely no one, to sign. Let's have another look. Let's rank by potential now. So, Ryan Orr, a catcher. There's a lot of good catchers here. There's Aaron Pilkington that the scout recommended. And he only wants the slot. I quite like Nick Durr. 13 potential. Potential for power, good eye, good Ks. He might be an interesting choice because if the OSA rating's got his power right down, whereas my head scout seems to think his home run power's right up. So he might be a good risk. He's got quite decent defensive ratings there. His stealing's average. Nick Durr, and he only wants the slot as well. And I think compared to Pilkington, I mean, there's a lot of good catchers, so I'm not too concerned about signing a catcher early. So I might go Nick Durr because, but he's got low work ethic. That's something that I didn't look at. I must admit, I'm not signing him. Will Proctor, maybe I will go Pilkington then, but again, Pilkington's got low. See, Ryan Orr compared to Pilkington's 10, 9, 17, 14, 7, and Orr's got slightly less gap potential, a lot more power. His eye, where's that? His eye is one better, and he's going to strike out probably slightly more. So Ryan Orr might actually be but he's extremely difficult to sign. But I'm going to recommend a slot bonus, draft him off of the slot. Let's see what he does. Now, we did look before at pitches, and no one really stood out. We don't want batters, do we? We want pitchers. No one really stood out here. Now, Joseph Reed, that's interesting, because he's a centre fielder. Now, let's have a look at his pitching ratings. Yeah, they're average, aren't they? I don't know why he's on there, because he's not going to do anything for us. Jared Horn, he's got very high work ethic. Now, that I like. Stuff is so-so. He's got great movement, great control, fastball, and what's that pitch? The splitter. His stamina's a little low, but he could be a decent reliever. We don't have any good relievers in our organisation, and he's very easy to sign. So I think that might be a good go. I'll just see what the director recommends, just in case I miss someone. He recommends Durr. I don't like him. So I'm going to go Jared Horn because he's got very high work ethic. And I'm going to offer here. I'm actually, you know what? He's very easy. So I'm just going to draft him and then offer him another one later. Offer him the signing bonus. Now what about, what does he recommend? He recommends Ben Baird, second baseman. Extremely difficult to sign. Got great defensive ratings. Running's not too bad, but across the board he's alright, isn't he? Got a bit of contact, bit of power. Home run power's right up. He's difficult to sign. I don't want to sign someone like that. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the batters. Let's have a look at contact. God, I really hate this. I wish it would scroll straight to the top. Zach Sherman, the left fielder. Bit of contact, bit of power there. And his discipline's not terrible. And his stealing and running is quite high too. I quite like this guy. There's not much else. This Griffin Keller, he's got high, and he's 13 contact, 13 gap, and 14 power. His discipline's a bit low, but he's a first baseman. Now, I might have looked at him before. Now, my head scout seems to think his discipline's a bit weaker. But if he's wrong about that, you know what? I'm going to go with this guy, Griffin Keller. Because he's got ability across the board there. And even if only one or two of them come up, I should say. If a couple of his... and plus, the other thing as well, which I didn't mention, we've got a bit of budget now. So we'll offer him... We'll just draft him. We're really tricky. This is a really poor draft. Zach Sherman. I looked at him before. And he's not too bad, but he's only got normal work ethic. So I'm going to keep scrolling down. There's not really anyone else. Ryan Kreidler, 13-13. He's not too bad. Nick Durr. Now, Nick Durr, this is the guy that I'm going to try and pick up later on. He's 13 and 16 eye potential. But he's got low work ethic. And I don't really want to risk someone that's just got such a low work ethic. Now, they recommend Ben Baird. I can't even find him on here. There he is. 12, 11, 16 power potential. Yeah, he's not too bad. Normal work ethic, but he's extremely difficult. There's got to be someone better to sign. But I really can't find it. If Nick Durr's still here in the next round, I'll pick him up. I'll offer Ben Baird the slot. Let's go to the next one. Is Nick Durr still here or is he gone? No, he's gone. By the looks of it. Nick Durr has gone. Gone! So we're into round 7. We haven't looked at any real power hitters so far. Grant Gilmore. Now this guy, I quite like him actually. Got great power. Doesn't have a lot of contact. Great power and great eye. So that means if he gets hold of one, then see you later. Shouldn't really have a better look at him. Difficult to sign. OSA rating. Look, I mean, totally contradictory, aren't they, these two ratings? His home run power is right down. But my head scout thinks he's awesome. So I might pick him up. Because he could be a bit of a gamble. Does he recommend? Yeah, he recommends Grant Gilmore. So yeah, let's give him a go. He's hard to sign, so we might end up losing him. Now, I meant to do this before in the last one. I actually, maybe I didn't. I thought I put a guy on the shortlist in the last draft because we couldn't sign him, and I assumed he was just going to come back, but he might reappear later. So who else does he recommend? Josh Hernandez, a catcher. Now, where is he? He's normal again. Good power, good eye. Do we need another catcher? What about OSA ratings? Now, our catcher, our head scout is just the total opposite, isn't he? I mean, putting in a lot more home run power, a lot more discipline at the plate than the OSA ratings. So I just don't know. Because we've also then got like second baseman here, Jordan McFarland, 17 and 15. That's very good. At third base, but he's right down. He can't run for toffee, can he? So what about Hernandez? He's only slightly better. See, you don't like this guy's a real speedy guy, and he's got a lot of power. So I don't think Najee Gaskins is going to develop how we anticipated. Now Josh Hernandez only wants the slot as well, so let's give Hernandez a crack. And we are into round 8 still. Anyone else? What does the scout recommend? Tony Losi, starting pitcher. He's got good control. I do like that about him. And the ratings aren't too different. There's not a great deal between the two ratings, so he might be a good gamble. But again, he's extremely hard. He's only 17, so I'm sure he's probably going to want to go to college or something. I don't want to waste that on... I don't want to waste such a high pick on someone that's not going to hang around. So let's go back to control. We've only got... He's the only college player we've got. Trey Cumby. And he's nothing special. Drew Parrish. But he's got 20. Got a ground ball tendency as well. Not sold on any of these. Oh, Joey Savin, he stuffs right down. He's not going to go anywhere. He's all over the shop. 11, 12, 16, 11, 10, 15. Oh, this is tough, isn't it? And Trey Cumby. Kevin Mooney's another college player, but he's not anything spectacular. Let's go to work ethic. Tyler Powell, 15 stuff, 10 controls right down. These two out of college. I prefer Zach Brown just because of his stamina. He's 13, whereas Bowden's only 9. Oh, this is really tricky. Tony Losi honestly seems to be the best pitcher we've got. So I'll give Tony Losi, because the OSA ratings and my scout seem to agree with him. I think that's a safe bet. Let's go back to batters. Let's see if our scout recommends Joseph Reed. Let's have a look at Joseph Reed once we get back up to the top here. Now again, look at his home run power. OSA ratings has a potential of 5 for home run power. Whereas our head scout seems to think everyone's got home run power, which is a bit of a concern. So I'm actually going to ignore that. Contact. We've got Austin Shenton, very high work ethic, which I like. 13 contact. His eye is up there too. So speed, and his power is right down, so he's not going to be hitting many home runs. But he's got pretty good defensive rating. He can play first base, third base, and the corners, and his speed's not that great. But as you can see, look, our head scout seems to think he's got better discipline than he does. So he could be a bit of a gamble, Austin Shenton. There's not really much else. Very high work ethic, very high intelligence for these two. Ryan Lekic. Yeah. But he wants a lot of money. I'm not going to pay that sort of money for him. He's not that good. Let's go Austin Shenton. And we'll pick him up. And the next pick should be the final pick. And it is Ethan Stringer, contact and gap. Where have these guys come from? Caleb Cunningham, normal, 14, gap and power. I prefer Ryan Kreidler, 14-13 with 15 eye. Now, who does our scout recommend? But Ethan Stringer, of course, he's very high work ethic, and he's got good contact potential and good gap potential. Now, he recommends Drew Parrish, who, by the looks of it, isn't even on the list. Oh, he's a starting pitcher. He is pretty tempting, isn't he? Good stamina, decent control potential. Stuff and movement to do with a little bit of work too. Extremely hard to sign. He's only young. Do we waste a pick on him? Because we're going to miss out on one of these guys. Yeah, I'll tell you what, because we've got a couple of good players there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into round 11 just to see if we can pick up one of these guys. And we've lost a couple of them. Zach Sherman, he's the guy that I'm going to try and pick up. So let's pick up Zach Sherman. And I will sim through the rest of the draft. And then we'll get into negotiations. Okay, so that's the draft done. So now we're on to negotiations. I mean, these are all impossible by the looks of it. These are the ones I didn't actually pick up. Now, Jared Horn, very easy. He demands 250. So you know what? I'm going to try and lowball him, actually. I'm going to go 230. And submit that offer. Now, Griffin Keller, he's normal signability. I quite like him. So I'm going to, because of his normal signability, I'm just going to meet his demand. Hopefully he's happy about that one. And these three, impossible to sign. I mean, yeah, he's awful. I don't know. I mean, he's right in the lower end of the last shot at signing him. I'll offer like 40,000, knowing full well that they're not going to sign for that stupid money. Jacob Snyder in round 29. Head scout seems to think he's got a bit of home run ability. Surprise, surprise. Impossible though. I'll offer him 40,000 as well. I mean, if they sign for that sort of money, then we deserve to have them. We'll have relief pitcher William Heflin. OSA rating came through the roof and stuff, but head scout doesn't seem to think he's a relief pitcher with great stamina. He's only got 2 pitches, which is why he's not a starter. So again, I'll offer him. He's around 30, so I'll offer him like 15,000. Let's see what he can come back with. As we are going to get through the rest of the month. This has been a very long episode. We're 22-29. We're rooted, aren't we? We're rooted to the NL East, to the foot of the NL East. Ben Baird, he's not satisfied. Let's see, what does Ben Baird want? Where is he? 220. Extremely difficult second base. I quite like now. Our OSA ratings have been quite poor, but the head scout seems to think he's very good. So do I believe the head scout or not? So the recommended slot bonus is 150. And we have quite a big budget. And he wants 220. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to offer him the 220. Let's meet his demand. I should have just pressed meet demand, shouldn't I? And we'll try and get through the rest of the month. Without a spin, he's ready to go back into AAA. That goes without saying. Really, that's a bit of a nothing move. I probably could edit that out. I don't suppose you guys really care about a career AAA player. Now, did we sign anyone? Now, before we go into the chemistry update, Nick Wilhite isn't happy. He's not satisfied. I'm not surprised. We didn't sign him in the end. I'm not too fussed about that. He's awful. I mean, right at the back. Team chemistry, how are we going with this? No major disruptions, which is good, but it doesn't look like everyone's super happy. It just looks like everyone's just getting on with the job at hand. We're 23-32. We're just falling right away. I mean, this could be the end of the season, the end of my career, the end of this season. We've just lost CJ Cron for 2 days. How's Stanton going? Stanton's still well behind Bryce Harper. He's 10,000 votes behind him. And he's our only possibility by the looks of it. So, oh dear. Deary, deary me. Ryan Orr. There you go. So we signed Ryan Orr. He's in the Gulf Coast League. Catcher. He's alright. Have to wait and see with him. He's one of those guys that you really don't know how he's going to play, do you? He could be fantastic or he could be awful. Beer didn't sign. Jared Horn did. We got Jared Horn, relief pitcher. So we'll have to wait and see with him. And we signed Griffin Keller too. So just need to re-offer Beer if he's up for it. And he demands $3.4 million. I don't think he's... Is he worth that, Seth Beer? I suppose he is, isn't he? You have to match his demand in order to convince him to sign. Let's do it. Let's just meet his demand. Because he is a good player. And we do have a pretty good organisation, actually. We do have a lot of good prospects coming through. Just unfortunately, none of them are doing anything for our team. And we've just lost Stanton for 3 weeks. What's he done? Intercostal strain. Oh dear. You know what? I'm losing patience with Stanton. I really am. He might even be worth getting rid of. Couldn't convince Beer. He will not sign. Continue education will re-enter. So we lost Heflin. Not too upset about that. Can't re-sign Beer though. Ugh. So where is he? Seth Beer. Oh, we did sign him. Sorry, my mistake. There you go. Shows what I know. Right fielder in the rookie league. Let's see how he gets on. So we signed him first in the first round, 8th overall. But the loss of Stanton. You know what? I'm really, as I say, I'm getting a bit distracted here. I'm losing patience with Stanton because he's just not that good, is he? I mean, when he's on fire, he's unbeatable. But unfortunately, most of the time, he's not. And he's with his contract. Let's go quickly to that. If we go to his salaries, he's on $9 million this year. He's on $14.5 million the year after that, and then his contract just grows up and up and up and up and up. And I don't. He's certainly not worth $25 million. I don't think he's even worth 14.5. So I might look at trading him away. I mean, it could be as soon as next month, to be honest, once he's back from injury. Our season's over. Let's see if we can get some real top prospects for him and chalk this season down as a loss because we're now we're now playing 400. And look, what's going on here? Look at this. Our pitching is awful. So if we go, who can we bring up? Who's ready for a call up? Who can we give? Okay, let's have a look at the minor leagues. Don't have anyone that's ready, do we? Walker vowed a spin. Walker's only 25. And he's not doing too badly. We got him in the trade with Baltimore, didn't we, in the off-season? Ugh, this is tricky because we don't have... Now, if we ask manager for all depth charts and lineups. So who have we got at right field? Nori Aoki with Prado in left field, Ben Revere centre field. Now, what I could do is, of course, we've got Kyle Schwarber at catcher. We could throw him into left field, which would give Federowicz the catching role. So we do need a backup catcher. And that might not be a bad idea. We've got Brandon Bantz. Contact. He's got a bit of eye there. We don't have a lot of good catchers. Anyone on the waiver wire that's worth picking up? No, just closers and a reliever. So do we bring on... Has anyone... Now, Bantz played one game for Seattle in 2013. Otherwise, he hasn't done a great deal. Sharif Othman. He's been a career minor leaguer. And Arturo Rodriguez. He's batting .299 this year. So who's the best out of all of them? What did Brand? He's batting .276. So I'm going to bring up Arturo Rodriguez. And we're going to move, if I can find him, Kyle Schwarber. We're going to move him to left field. Set position left field. And let's see if he can improve our team. So let's go all depth charts and lineup. So Kyle Schwarber stays in at left field. Federowicz comes in at catcher now. Nori Aoki takes over from the loss of Stanton. And Revere stays in centre field. I hate doing episodes where I'm all doom and gloom, which has been basically every single episode. Did we get Snyder? No, we didn't get Snyder. I'm not too surprised about that. He's carrying on with his education. Kind of expected that one. We did just beat Arizona in 12, so that's interesting. Let's try and get out this month here. We're nearly at the end now. We've got about a fortnight to go. Did we get Baird? Yes, we did sign Ben Baird as well. He's obviously in the rookie league. Now, he's going to be interested. I'm going to be interested to see how he gets on because OSA ratings have got him right down. But Head Scout seems to think he's better than he actually is. And he's a good infielder too. And he can play third base too. So, well, it's got him here as a second baseman, which I don't agree with. So I'm going to change him to third base because that's where he's good at. I don't want to train him up to be second baseman. We just lost to the Mets. I mean, we need to start beating the teams within our division, don't we? We're actually doing worse this time around than we were last year. I give up. I mean, we have, again, a pretty tight division. I mean, we're behind the Phillies. How are we behind the Phillies? Stanton's still leading the home runs. I mean, it doesn't help. We did lose Yelich. We've had so many injuries. It's just been depressing, isn't it? And there we go. We've got Yelich back. Now, can Yelich play other positions? No, he can only play left field. Now, what has Schwarber done? How's he doing? Fielding stats. How's he doing in left field? Not doing too badly, actually. But if we bring Yelich in now, we're going to have two left fielders. So I might send Schwarber back as a catcher because we can't afford to lose him. Rodriguez has played a couple of games. He's batting 200. Send Rodriguez back to AAA if I can get to it. Yelich comes back across. As we're here, we've got a bit of a break. See if there's anyone on the waivers. Nelson Cruz, 35. Yeah, he's in a massive cold streak. Not surprised Seattle wants to get rid of him. He's not doing very much, is he? Anything else of note? National League, again, not too surprising. I don't expect any changes. Stanton's fallen even further behind. How are we getting on? Brandon Hill. Now, we picked him up last year, I believe, in the draft. Yep, we picked him in round 2, 42nd overall. And he's not doing too badly. 265 in single A. But he just got 5 hits, which is pretty cool. Casey Salters with the weirdest facial hair I've ever seen. He's not doing too badly either. Left field in Double A. He's batting 284. He might be ready for a step up in September. And have we just swept the Mets? I think we might have done. Oh no, we only played one game. Sorry, I thought we'd simmed further than we had. I mean, we just more or less got swept by Baltimore, and we did actually beat the Mets. Did actually win the series there. So if we're seemingly winning a few more games now. Where is it? So in May we went 8-10. April we went 8-10. May we went 11-18, and in June we're 10-12. I mean, May 11-18. Ugh, it's just so frustrating, isn't it? When you're predicted to win the division, and in fact you've gone the complete opposite. It's hard to stay motivated, really, isn't it? So stay tuned for next season where I could be looking for another job. Now, Ramos is ready to come back. Now, he was 386. His control's right down. I don't know if I really want to bring him back. But who hasn't been playing very well? Why are we all over the place? We want pitching stats, don't we? Who is all over the place? Brian Morris is having a bit of a mare. Detweiler's not doing much better. And he's only playing 9. So, you know what, Detweiler, don't think I can bring him back, can I? No, has to clear waivers. Not too surprised about that. So we'll put him on waivers. Remember, we signed him as a free agent. Disabled list. AJ Ramos can come back in. signed him as a free agent, so I'm not expecting too much from him. Where are we? Matt Kroon. I picked up Matt Kroon in the draft last year. He's in single A, and he's batting .302 in 21 games, so I'm impressed with him, third baseman. And what did he do? He was the top player. There you go. So he was player of the week down in single A. But we're falling well behind, aren't we? 11.5 games back. Our season's basically over. I'm still tossing up about Giancarlo Stanton. I think I might get rid of him, but let me know in the comments. Is it worth trading him away? Is it worth getting rid of him? Because don't forget his contract is huge in the next few years. Let's get him away now. Perhaps bring in some great prospects. What do you guys think? Let me know. As we are just about... Are we there? Yep, there we go. So that's the end of the month. So let's have a quick look at the team to finish out this very long episode. So Henderson Alvarez has calmed down a bit, so has Sam Dyson. Jose Fernandez, his ERA is still through the roof. He's 3-7. His ERA plus is right down. That's a worry. That's a real concern because he's not a bad player, all things considered. He's a very good player, but he's costing us a lot of wins. Brad Hand, he's in the lineup purely because he's our only lefty. I'm tempted to take charge and bring Ivan Nova back up, but Brad Hand has calmed down slightly, 382. Jake Thompson has come up. Don't forget he's a rookie. He's only 22 and a half years of age, and he's got our best ERA. He's doing very well, and he's a 5-4. He's a 4-0 win record in 5 starts. So he's a shining light in this otherwise very poor pitching core. Preston Claiborne, he's not doing great. Tanner Shepard's still doing very well. Dale Taylor's slid down slightly, but Tanner Shepard, he's proven to be a real sign. I claimed him off waivers from Texas, and I'm very pleased with how he's doing. He's doing better than he was last year. So, yeah, Shepard and the young Jake Thompson are the only two. Ivan Nova, he came in, he's just under 5 ERA. So, so frustrating. In terms of batting, we've been riddled with injuries, so you can't expect too much. Ben Revere in centre field with 2.52. Yelich has seemingly carried on where he left off. He's going 3.59. Nori Aoki, he's still doing quite well. I might even perhaps consider switching his position around to right field permanently if we do get rid of Stanton in the long term. Danny Santana, he's 3.13. Hecavarria 270. Mark Reynolds has cooled right down. He's got worse every single month. The month of April he did well. The month of May he did all right, and now he's doing poorly. So that proved to be a great piece of signing work by me. Martin Prado should be taking over from Mark Reynolds. I'm surprised that they're still playing him, to be honest, because Mark Reynolds is awful. He's really, really awful. Martin Prado should be there, quite frankly. His WAR is minus 0.2, which is a worry. Jose Iglesias, he's in a cold streak. He's batting 239 in his 40 starts. D. Gordon, 254. CJ Cron, 251. Schwarber, 265. He's one of the lone standouts, along with Yelich. Stanton, of course, injured, so I can't be bothered finding all the stats for him and the other injured players. So that brings the month of June to a close. That's disappointing, isn't it? But let me know in the comments what you think. Pop a like on there if you enjoy watching me suffer. And I'll see you again tomorrow.